The veneers are shaking. The crime stories are shaking. The cargo is shaking. Los Angeles is shaking. The presidential election is shaking. I don't know who's shaking, Lil Yachty or Caribou. The controversy is shaking, and the controversy behind Shannon Sharpe and his young plaything, Gabriella's relationship, has me doing some insight into Dom-sub relationships and whether or not, if deemed consensual in the beginning, can you be sued for later? There's a lot to the story. We're going to dig deep into some thoughts here. Let's talk about it. So I've done about 3 stories covering the Shannon Sharpe situation. Before we even know who the girl was, now we know who it is because he identified her as an OnlyFans girl. She was 19 when they met. He was in his 50s. People have a lot of controversial opinions on this situation, but here's mine. I believe that this relationship between Shannon Sharpe and this young white girl named Gabriella was a Dom-sub relationship rooted in slave play. Do you guys know what slave play is? Let me explain. So there was a play on Broadway called Slave Play, and it was based off the concept of the antebellum actual performance therapy, okay? Now, you know I'm not going to say that word. So the antebellum actual performance therapy. Now, what that is when you have an interracial couple and they play the roles that they would have played in the olden days as an interracial couple to identify things in their relationship and in their romantic life, right? So in the play Slave Play, on Broadway, the couples first started out in 1800s, 1700s garb like this, talking to each other in that deep South plantation accent. Then it led to a therapy session in modern day, seeing the dynamics of their relationships as black and white couples. Now, people actually participate in slave play for their desires. You remember Mano, the rapper Mano, he spoke about enjoying stuff like that, dealing with Caucasian girls and having them call him the N-word when they're messing around. I've heard in the LGBTQIA community, there are a lot of people that enjoy slave play. You know, yes, massa, spank me and tie me up and you gonna do what I say, boy. Or, in this instance, I believe it was reversed. I believe that Shannon Sharpe went into this Dom-sub relationship like this young white girl was the slave and he was the master. And if it was consensual and they were 2 adults, 19 and 52 or 57 aside, is it right because it was consensual? Now, there are part of the recordings and part of the text messages that were leaked where she says that she did not approve of him putting it in her backside without her consent. But if you're role playing these roles where I gotta say to you, Daddy, I didn't like that. When you did that, it hurt. And that's a part of like what we're doing in our agreement. Can that be flipped in court? Can that be said no means no? If the initial agreement is to say no. Now, these are the leaked conversations between Gabriella and Shannon Sharpe. Let us read. Gabriella's in the blue. But I cried when you left because I begged you to put on a condom and not to put it in my backside, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon. So that does sound like a command. Is there a safe word in these situations? Like when I say pineapples, you're not supposed to do that. I don't know. It's all going to play out in court. The messages continue. She said, I don't know how to process this. He said, can I call you later? Then we have these messages that more support my description of a Dom-sub BDS dynamic already established. She said, I want to be abused, Daddy. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though. So that's bondage, pseudomasochism. That's what that is. Let's actually look at the definition of Dom-sub. So this is from Google. In the context of relationships, Dom refers to the dominant partner, while sub refers to the submissive partner. The dominant partner typically takes on a leadership or guiding role, while the submissive partner tends to embrace the position of pleasure, acceptance, and obedience. This dynamic is often explored within BDSM context, but it can also be applied to other relationship structures. Here's a more detailed breakdown, and I really like this. So the dominant individual often takes charge, sets boundaries, and may have a more active role in the physical or psychological aspects of the relationship. They are always seen as the leader or the guide. The submissive partner typically embraces the role of obedience, pleasure, and submission to their dominant partner's wishes. They may be seen as a pleaser or follower. And it says, while the Dom-Sub dynamic is often associated with actuality and role playing, it's important to note that it can also extend to other aspects of life, such as decision making or authority structures within a relationship. So isn't that interesting? I do believe that that's what they had initially agreed. And she saw that $100 million and said, let me take this to court. And now she's about to be awarded $10 million. Today they said that Shannon just wants to settle out in court, give her $10 million and put this all aside. That girl won. And do you know why she won? Because she did something that I have been really needing you guys to do. And that's on Diddy. That's on R. Kelly. That's on Russell Simmons. That's on anybody who's into some freaky stuff and has power, okay? If you're going to have a Dom-Sub relationship with somebody in 2025, I need you to have some consent paperwork. Have some paperwork. Hey, I'm into this kind of thing. If you're into this kind of thing, please sign here saying you won't sue. Please sign here saying that you're down. Please sign here saying I can choke you. Please sign here. Because now you're out $10 million, life-changing money. And she's going to go on and marry a white man, and this is going to be behind her. And it continues to take the generational wealth out of Black America's pocket and put it right back in the white girl's pocket. All because you didn't take care of your business on the back end, Shannon Sharpe. Irresponsible. All I got to say about this is, when he had a conversation with Donnell Rollins saying that he was shocked and that he was dating a young lady or had a baby from a young lady that was 23 years younger than him and on Bad Girls Club, you didn't think to say, what I'm not going to do is get a girl 30-something years younger than me from OnlyFans, okay? Because not only is it equivalent, Shannon Sharpe, I hate to tell you, it's worse.